from the Ticats Audio Network. This is Ticats Today with Louie Butko.
Yes, it is Ticats Day for a Tuesday, September the 13th, 2022. Louie Butko here from Tim Hortons Field, where the Ticats officially held day one of practice ahead of Saturday's game when they take on the two-time defending Grey Cup champion Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Yes, those Bombers, the ones that last time they were here, they were celebrating with a trophy. But we don't talk about that on this show. We talk about this season. We talk about this Tiger Cats team. And speaking of this Tiger Cats team, coming up on today's show, we're going to hear from Dane Evans. We'll hear from Dylan Wynn as well. And we'll hear from Coach O. We'll get his thoughts after day one of practice. And then later on, the CFL and TSN's Matthew Scianitti is going to be by, so stick around. Got lots to come here on Ticats Today, the only daily show about the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Really, I'm pretty sure, somebody can fact check me on this, I'm pretty sure it's the only daily CFL-focused show. If there's another one out there, please let me know, but I don't know anyone else who's doing this, so thank you for tuning in, because we could not do the show without your support. I say that a lot, but we really do appreciate it, so thank you. No news and notes to get to from today's practice. Really standard day one stuff, so let's get right into it with Coach O. Here's what he had to say after practice, and started off by asking him about a familiar face, Zach Caleros, and the scouting report on number 5 for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers.
Well, I mean, Zach's obviously a champion multiple times, and he's a competitor. You know, obviously he was here before, and, you know, obviously a lot of respect for his game, the way he leads, the way he prepares. He's kind of found his groove. I think what stands out on tape is he's always been able to make all the throws, but he's still extending plays, giving his receivers. He kind of has a knack for giving his receivers great opportunities to make plays down the field. He doesn't really overthrow people, doesn't underthrow them when he's on the move, and it's bode well for them. Yeah, I mean, you turn on the tape, and, you know, those guys are all making plays. Up front, we're going to have our hands full, but at the end of the day, we got to play the game. And so the focus is on the opponent, obviously, of who we're playing, but then the refocus always comes right back to ourselves and what we're doing. So we're going to, at the end of the day, you got to do what you do the best. And that's what, that's what we're practicing. Because they're going to kick the ball off at 4 o'clock this week. That's really how you do it. And so those thoughts they just got to, they got to be like a cloud and just float away. That's just what it's got to be. And I think we've done a really good job of that, What we got to do is execute better in a timely fashion, and play collectively better in all 3 phases, and win football games. It's real simple. Yeah, and I think like we say, you definitely want to find a way to be better in 2 of 3 phases. To sit here and say even when things are rolling that you're going to win 3 out of 3 phases just usually isn't a realistic ask or execution. But at the end of the day, you go out there, you work hard, you stay focused, and then when the ball's kicked off and it's a live game, it's time to perform. And so that's what we're doing. We're in the preparation stage, and then we'll worry about performing, and everything else outside just handles itself.
And that is the head coach and president of football operations for your Hamilton Tiger Cats, Orlondo Steinauer, as we caught up with him after practice today. And just a reminder, you can always catch full scrums available at ticats.ca. That's where you'll be able to catch this one, as we had a chance to catch up with quarterback number 1, Dane Evans. And here's what he had to say after practice today.
It was pretty necessary. I wasn't healthy enough to go or anything, so for health-wise, it was great timing for me personally. I know a lot of guys were banged up just this time of the year across the league. There's a lot of guys banged up. So that was good for us as a team. And it was nice just selfishly to get to hang out around the house and hang out with Ivy and Nikki and just kind of be a dad and just enjoy those moments. My sophomore year of college, I went through something like this. Just honestly almost identical. We were in every game, just couldn't figure out how to win them. And it was tough going through it then. It's been tough going through it now. But the best thing is what happened then and what happened now, same thing. Nobody's quit. nobody's giving up. Like, the locker room's not divided or anything. So we have the pieces to do it. We just simply have to do it. But that's the only time I ever went through something like this. No, yeah, it's huge because, like, it could just easily be something we get up here and say, but it's truly not. Like, that's what's so special about this team and so special about this place, Hamilton here, is, like, that's just not who we are. Like, that's never going to happen, you know? Guys go out there and give it their all every practice, every game. And I don't think we'll ever have to worry about that being an issue here. But people can tell you from other places that that does come up, but it's never happened here, and I don't see it happening here anytime soon. Yeah, no, it's huge because they've been blowing and going, right? Like, they've been going every week, and I've been banged up and haven't been able to go some. So for me, like, I need all those reps I can get. I've always been a reps guy. So this week has been huge, being able to get out there and get some reps and practice and stuff. So it's been fantastic. I can clean some things up, but I mean, I haven't played in a while, so that's gonna be there. But that's why we go and practice, right? So yeah.
Is this the perfect opponent for you guys right now?
I think so. I mean, when you go out there, you always want to play the best team, and they're the best team. So I can promise you this: we're going to go out there and give it hell. They're a good football team for a reason, but I still firmly believe we're a good football team too. So I wouldn't want it any other way. I've never had anything given to me easy in my life. I don't think anybody in that locker room has. So we want it this way. It's kind of what we do.
And that is Dane Evans as we caught up with him after practice today. And one more piece of sound to get to from after practice. We had a chance to catch up with Dylan Wynn. And here's what he offered up as we caught up with him. And again, full scrums, ticats.ca. But here's Dylan Wynn after practice today.
It's hard going into a bye week off of a loss, but, you know, it's a lot of lesson to learn. And you had a lot of time to be able to break down that film and put it to bed and move on to the next week. So I would say that's probably the advantage of the bye week is we're full steam going ready for Winnipeg. I've actually probably been in this situation more than most professionals. I've been through professional 3-win seasons actually, a few times now, just because of circumstance. What I've learned in these situations is, the record is what it is, but that's not going to change how I'm coming to work every day, how we need to come and, the mindset and the attack that we're doing every single day and trying to step and get better and, the little things. The second you stop self-reflecting and trying to improve, that's when you get past, and it's such a competitive job. If you want to stay employed, that's kind of what you do is you just keep improving, looking to the next week. And we do this wonderful thing where you live in a 1-week bubble. And if you don't give the team you're going against that focus, man, you're going to pay for it. And so it forces you to, move on and keep working and keep sharpening and doing what you can to be the best player that you can so that you can back up your teammates. Absolutely. I love being able to play against the best. Right now they're the best in the league, and big players make big plays in big games, and that's just kind of how we are coming into this game, just knowing that we all need to do your job, and the line for mistakes is so small, that this is, like you said, kind of perfect for us. It's exactly what we need, and we're excited to get it going. He's an amazing quarterback. Anybody can see that. Right now he's playing lights-out football, really pulling the team through these close games, and, it's our job to disrupt his rhythm and timing, and so I'm excited for that challenge. Like I said, it's just about, focusing on your 1-week bubble. You can't control the past, and when you look at the future, you can either have fear or faith, and the only difference is mindset. So we choose faith on that, and we're just going to keep grinding and keep working and keep doing what we got to do to be the best team and the best reflection of the city we can.
And that is Dylan Wynn as we had a chance to catch up with him after practice today. All right, very pleased now to be joined by the CFL on TSN's Matthew Scianitti. And Matthew, we'll get to the Ticats in just a second. We'll get to this week's game. But I want to put you on the spot here and ask you about the Blue Bombers, specifically their quarterback, Zach Caleros, coming off another CFL top performer this week, 4 touchdowns. He's the reigning MOP. He's a 2-time Grey Cup champion. It's Hall of Fame week this week here at Tim Hortons Fields. Is there a chance that we see Zach Collaros enshrined here at Tim Hortons Field one day as a Hall of Famer?
If you ask Zach Collaros that, he will look at you as if, and I say this very quite carefully, as if you've passed wind in front of him, because he doesn't consider himself a Hall of Famer. I think it's just the way that the Bombers run their organization. They are very much day to day, and you could certainly now start bringing up the D word to them, as in Dynasty, and Mike O'Shea, Willie Jefferson, Jackson Jeffcoat, Adam Bighill, Jamarcus Hardrick, Zach Collaros, like they all look at you like you're from another planet, like you have a third head. So, and I don't think anymore, and I don't want to speak for Collaros, but I don't think anymore he's at a point where he somehow that this is a revenge tour game, or no, he's so far beyond those kind of feelings. But it is going to be an important game for him because he has a tremendous amount of respect for Ricky Ray, and Ricky Ray being in the building, because Collaros came into the league with Ray being the number one quarterback in Toronto when he was the fourth string / practice squad quarterback in 2012, is a very, it'll be a very significant thing for Collaros, and given how they're playing right now, and how well, albeit they beat a flu decimated Saskatchewan Roughriders team last week. We are in, if you've been checking your CFL emails, the Winnipeg Blue Bombers are the only team that can clinch a home playoff game. The only team who had already had a scenario of clinching a playoff game. They are in a league of their own right now, just because of the confidence, the way they operate. However, that does not mean that the Hamilton Ticats are going into this week with still a lot to play for. Certainly, and a tremendous disappointment what happened on Labor Day. And they needed that bye week, and we will see now what answers, what adjustments, what kind of evolution we'll see out of the Ticats, because from here on out, winning is the only focus they should have.
So does that make this week's opponent the perfect opponent for the Ticats to test themselves and to really put all those questions maybe to rest? Or is this the worst case scenario for the Ticats coming off the bye week?
Well, the last time the Winnipeg Blue Bombers were in Hamilton, they won the Grey Cup. So this is certainly a scenario by which, if you are the Hamilton Ticats and you're Orlondo Steinauer, it's very easy to motivate your team, even though, again, they will bring up the old cliches and tropes of this is not the same team and these are, of course. But the atmosphere around Tim Hortons Field is still the same, and this is certainly still a Ticats team that looks at last November and looks at Zach Collaros and the entire crew, the Blue Bombers, celebrating a Grey Cup win on their home turf as something to want to exact some kind of revenge over. I just think, knowing the way that Orlondo Steinauer is as a coach, and we talk about this all the time, preparation and focus and chopping your wood this week is always very, very, very important to him, at top of mind, doing your 112th. But we're at a point now where you need a statement. You need someone to go ahead and do something to show up and be like, no. And it is, and you look through the last 5, 10, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years of the Ticats, through good years and bad years, through lean years and successful years, there have been games where someone has stepped up and been like, you know what, I'm making a statement, and I'm standing up and going to have that hard-working Ticat driven performance. And who I don't know to pick a player out, because frankly, I think everyone to a person, certainly Tim White's had a very, very productive year, but the team has just been inconsistent across the board. But it would be very, very timely for one of those guys to say, no, I'm putting a stamp on it. Yes, as you say, this is the perfect opponent because they are, the back-to-back Grey Cup champions, because they are, at least through a lot of metrics and the standings, the best, the qualified best team in the league. But this is still the regular season. This is still the Hamilton Ticats, and they can make a statement this week saying that they are not done in what is going to become a very, very tight playoff run in the East.
Dane Evans was a full participant yesterday, according to the injury report. Don't have the injury report in front of me, so I can't really make an assumption on what they called him today, but let's say he was a full participant today. Do you have confidence that Dane could be that guy to make the statement? If he is, healthy Dane Evans that we know?
We know that I have seen, as you have seen this season, Dane go through the glorious life changes of becoming a father, through dealing with injury, through disappointment, through dealing with inconsistencies and frustrations on the field. And we've also seen a lot of the experiences, and I don't mean to relate them because they're two different, very, very different experiences. But sometimes, given the relation to a person who's coming back versus a person who's always there, you try to draw parallels. Dane Evans is going through a lot of, the challenges and some of the things that Zach Collaros dealt with when he came back off injury. Trying to find himself again, trying to find what works, trying to find, himself in the pocket, his comfort level. He could do no better than looking across the way at Zach Collaros and being like, dude, like, what's my play here? It's quarterbacks in this league, the real successful ones, will deal with some kind of adversity. Ricky Ray is going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. He got booted out by the Edmonton football team after leading them to 2 Grey Cup wins, and being their all-time leading passer, and being a guy who, really was the guy in Edmonton, a generational kind of quarterback that they hadn't had, since Warren Moon and Matt Dunnigan and Damon Allen. I mean, he fits it all, but he went through, adversity and had to overcome it and find himself in Toronto. Every great quarterback in the CFL has that moment, and this is Dane Evans' moment, I think, and I am excited to see what he does because nobody holds himself to a higher standard than Dane Evans. I mean, I was there in Toronto when he wanted to speak to me and Steve Milton, and he wanted to, again, I say this in quotes because this is only professional football, but he wanted to be held accountable, and being held accountable for him was standing up and saying, I need to do better. Well, if he does start, here's your next opportunity to do better against a team that he wasn't as successful as he would have wanted to be in 2 Grey Cups. So this is a great opportunity for Dane Evans to come back and be like, no, I have to command this situation. I have to command the huddle. But he's only 1/12, as the Ticats will often say. So making sure that as a leader, he's communicating with his offensive line, which has been a bugaboo for the Ticats all season, to looking to other aspects of his receiving core and his weapons around him, saying, okay, guys, like, we have to be on the same page. It literally is all the fundamental rudiments of football that Ticats need to focus on, which is, making sure that they stay on the field, making sure their defense isn't exhausted by a Bombers attack that can just come on the field and hit you very, very quickly. To ball security, it's the Ticats have to get back to all the fundamentals that made them back-to-back Grey Cup participants. It's just that simple. However, when you get into playing a team like that in this league, you certainly need your quarterback. And if Dane is the guy, he has to play like the guy.
Matthew, appreciate this as always. Thank you.
Talk to you, my friend.
My thanks to Matthew Scianitti for joining me today, and my thanks to you as well, because you know what? We could not do the show without your support, so we very much appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe or like or leave a review or whatever you need to do. Maybe tell a friend about it, because we appreciate that too. The more listeners, the better, and the more content we can deliver you here on the Ticats Audio Network. Ticats fans, it's time to ride on our strength. From now until October 13th, purchase 4 eligible Hercules passenger or light truck tires to receive a $100 Ticats rewards card and be entered to win our road trip sweepstakes, available at participating Active Green and Ross, Ontario locations, or visit HerculesTires.com/AGR rewards. That'll do it for us today. We are back tomorrow, same time, same place, right here on the Ticats Audio Network. I'm Louie Butko, hoping you have a great day.
Ticats Today can be heard every weekday, and we would like to hear from you. Email us at gameday@ticats.ca. Have a question or an opinion? We want to hear it. That's gameday@ticats.ca. Subscribe to the Ticats Audio Network on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts.